Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how I play the Shadow Priest in PvP 6.2 patch for Warlords of Draenor. So I'm going to be going through a couple of things. So to start with, I'm going to go through the talents that I use. So for level 15 we've got Desperate Prayer, Spectral Guise and Angelic Bulwark. The main choice for everyone at the moment is this, because it's only got 30-second cooldown and you can get hit 3 times before coming out this stealth. If we look at Desperate Prayer and Angelic Bulwark, this has 90-second cooldown, this has 2-minute cooldown. So that means you can cast this 4 times by the time you can cast one of them. 70k healing, that would mean that is 12 hits. You can either get hit an extra 12 times without taking damage, or that much healing. So that's why that's better. And this is just, if you go below 30% HP, it doesn't mean you're going to die in PvP, so it's not very useful. Level 30, we've got Angelic Feather, Phantasm, and Body and Soul. Always take Angelic Feather because this here is kind of useful, but Fade has 30-second cooldown, so it's kind of you're going to get dispelled anyway if you're in threes with a healer. And this you get a cooldown when you use shield. You get this cooldown, which is an extra 10 seconds for speed buff, and this also costs mana, which is sometimes not great. So if we use this, it's basically an ongoing speed buff, because there's 3 charges, and basically if you do it right, you can keep going for about 20 seconds until you finally run out of them. So it's a great speed buff. You have to get used to aiming them, obviously, but that comes with time, and it's not that hard. However, if you're getting continuously slowed, it's pretty hard to actually see the difference between this and just running normally. So I don't think it's going to give you a great escape, because it's not that good if you're being slowed. Oh no. On level 45 we've got Surge of Darkness, Mindbender and Insanity. Now some people, this is really whatever you want, but I would not recommend Insanity anymore, because either you're going to get silenced or kicked, so that's a 6 second time where you can't actually use anything else, and it requires you to be standing still and not moving, so it's kind of risky to use. But if you're against a comp that doesn't have much silences or kicks or CC or anything like that, and you need to burst someone really quickly, then I would recommend taking that, but that's only sometimes. However, Mindbender, you could use this, but it's pretty decent. It's not that bad, but the only thing I would say that's bad with it is it can be feared and CC'd and everything. So if you got the upgraded version, they were like, oh look, it's going to do more damage, just CC it or fear it or do whatever to it for like 8 seconds, and that's basically the entire time it's up, because I think it's only 12 seconds. It's up for 12 seconds, so they could CC it for 8 of those seconds with one ability. So that's why I don't take that one. I take this because you can use it whilst moving, and if you don't have dots on the target, and you take this talent here, you do an extra 40% damage with these Mind Spikes, and they're filler abilities, which are instant, instead of using Insanity like this, which can easily be silenced or kicked, which is kind of annoying. Level 60, we've got Void Tendrils, Psychic Scream and Dominate Mind. Void Tendrils, I only take this one against Warrior, because they can't be feared, because they have Berserker Rage. Although if they don't have Berserker Rage, they can be, but that's kind of rare, because they're just going to use it whenever you use that, and it's just on the same cooldown as that. You could only really use this against a Warrior if you have a Warlock on your team as well, because they're going to fear and you're going to fear, and it's on a different cooldown. So yeah, Void Tendrils are good against that, because you can stop them from moving until they actually kill the Tendrils. Never take Dominate Mind, because just don't take that. I just don't. Level 75, Twist of Fate, Power Infusion, Shadow Insight. I always take Twist of Fate, because when they get below 35% HP, that's getting near to your Shadow Word death threshold, and you can do some really big extra damage with the 15%. Also, it helps to finish people off with other abilities as well. Even if you're not going to kill someone and they get below 35% HP, you're going to get 15% extra damage, which is helpful in any case. Power Infusion, I don't take this because it's going to be purge from you. I would only take this if they have a comp with no purge at all, which is really rare. And don't take this because you take Clarity of Power, and basically this makes it so your Mind Blast is instant, where this also makes Mind Blast instant, so there's not really any point in taking that. Level 90, I would take Cascade and Battlegrounds, non-rated Battlegrounds. I wouldn't take Divine Star because it's really hard to aim properly, and they can easily move out of it, and it doesn't really do that much damage. I take Halo with Arenas because it does less damage than Cascade, and has a longer cooldown, and I think it costs more mana. Yeah, it costs a bit more mana, but that doesn't really matter. But it doesn't break CC, so if someone's in polymorph or any kind of CC or a fear, this won't break it, whereas this does break it, which is really annoying. And at level 100, you should always take Clarity of Power, because it basically gives you an extra 40% damage whenever you don't have dots on a target, and makes your Mind Blast instant and a short cooldown, which helps you get orbs, which is your damage. Now, Void Entropy, you can take this, and you could take that, but this is just so powerful. That just makes these two not viable. Now onto glyphs. For the major glyphs, there are a couple of options you can take. I take Fade because I generally get focused quite a lot, and if you use this, you basically take 10% less damage when you Fade up, and I think Fade lasts for 10 seconds. Yep. So that's 10 seconds every 30 seconds of 10% less damage, which is actually really significant when you think about the percentage. I use this because I get focused a lot, as I said, so just give it a little bit more less cooldown. And I use this because I can remove the ice block and the paladin just bubble in arenas, which is really helpful. So if you see a mage on like a quarter HP, you can be like, oh look, he's obviously gonna have to block soon, or a paladin. Just pre-cast it. They're gonna block or bubble, and you're gonna be able to instantly get rid of it, and then they won't expect that, and they'll just die. Now you can take this, which makes it so your enemy can't move when you crit with Mind Blast for 4 seconds. But I personally don't take this because I do 3v3 arenas with a Frost Mage, and it DRs with his roots, so it's not great for that. What's the other one? You can take this, but to do a little bit more damage, but it's not really worth it. I think that's all that I can think of. Some people take this. I don't really know why, but some people do take it. This is something some people take to reflect damage you get. So say the shield. Wait, let me try that. Oh no. Right, 1 second. Let's just wait for this to come back up. So we use the shield here. 36k. 70% of 36k is something like 28k, right? So you can do 28k damage to someone when they break your shield. So that's pretty decent, to be honest. And that's why some people take it. I think that's all you can really take here that I know of. Some people take this, so you can, if you're getting focused and say your healer or your other DPS is standing quite far away from you, you can just jump to them and you'll be able to outrange the melees or the ranged and line of sight them. But that's, yeah. Oh, this one here, you can use this if you have to CC someone to actually kill them for whatever reason. If they're line of sight, if they're good at line of sighting, like Windwalkers, then you can use this, so you can CC them so they can't run away from you when you burst. I think that's all for mages. You can either get whatever minor glyph you want. Alright, now on to, let me see here, survival. I'm going to go through the survival abilities. So obviously we have Fade with the major glyph, which makes it 10% less damage. So if you click that, they're right there. Reduced threat level, that doesn't matter at all, but the 10% less damage taken is really nice. We have Power Shield, which some people like to use. I use it quite often because it's a nice, it's not much, but it's just a little shield that could help out just to top you off. Or if you're just about to die, it can save you sometimes. Spectral guys, you can stealth away from people like this, and just you see they have to hit that 3 times before they reveal you. If you're against the druid though, they're going to fairy fire you and they're going to be able to see you anyway, so that's not really helpful for that. Yeah, that's a good point actually. If you're against the druid, don't take this. Take one of these. I take this because you can use it when you want, whereas this is whenever you get to a certain amount of HP, which isn't very good for PvP. Another thing you can do with spectral guys, if you feather yourself and then spectral guys, you can run in quickly while stealth and do a fear on their healer or whoever you want to fear. It's better if you can try to get them all at the start. That's actually really good. Another defensive is the feather I just used because it makes you run fast and you can outrun people and line of sight easily and things like that. Your silence is a defensive, which is here. So if you silence a target, like say they have a mage and they're just about to burst you, if you silence them, then they can't burst you because they can't use any abilities. So that's going to reduce the damage you do by quite a lot. You've got dispersion, obviously your main cooldown, which is a 90% damage reduction for 6 seconds. They can kill you from this, but you can't be slowed or anything like that. It's pretty decent, but it's got a really it's not got that long of a cooldown, but it's quite long. compared to people's bursts right now, because mages can burst like every minute or so with orb, and this is a bit longer than that, so you're gonna have to rely on other things to survive one of them. Vampiric Embrace is also classed as a defensive because it heals everyone. So if you or someone else on your team's taking a lot of damage, if you pop that and go burst, you'll be able to heal them quite a bit. Devouring Plague at 3 orbs or 5 orbs, whatever. You're going to be healed from doing that, which is pretty decent as well. It's actually a pretty big heal. Not many people think about that. I think that's pretty much it on terms of defensive. Obviously, fearing people away from you and using your trinket for whatever. You can also use Master Spell to dispel things on you, but if you're against a Warlock or a Priest, which things happen when you dispel their dots, it's not as good. And you might want to save it for Bubble or Ice Block if they have one of those classes. And one last thing is Dispel Magic. You can dispel like mages, Icy Veins and things like that to stop their burst, or not stop it, to slow down their damage, so that's also helpful for defensive. And the last thing is you could maybe heal yourself, which kind of works, but they're probably going to kick you. But if they do, that's good because you can use more shadow abilities without worrying about getting kicked. However, it's quite hard to get off without them hitting you and just slowing the cast down. In the end, it's not much of a heal. Obviously, the last thing is your passive, whatever class you are. If you're a human, you got the extra trinket. Obviously, if you're a gnome, you get the thing that reduces slows or removes slows, and you get the dwarf is the stone form, and obviously night elf is the shadow meld, which can help if you spectral guys shadow meld, because they think, say you're standing here and you run over spectral guys and shadow meld here, they have no idea where you've gone, and that's good at the start of an arena if they've got like a good burst opener. And you want some, because you're not great at taking bursts, you want to take the mage to get the burst. So if need be, he can ice block, or you can just peel for him and fear them and things like that. You can just stealth at the start with your shadow meld. So now I'm going to go through. Let me read this. Okay, I'm going to go for CC and using Leap of Faith. So Leap of Faith is the ability that you can grab people with. Obviously, Leap of Faith here. So if someone's in your party, you can grab them towards you. This is actually really helpful in a... Oh shit, I don't want to attack that. This is actually really helpful in arenas. Or anything really, because say... let me see here. This is a pillar, right? In an arena. The enemy is that dummy over there. Alright, so... Your partner is that geezer sitting right there. He's getting pummeled by this warrior. You can grab him behind this pole, and the warrior has to run all the way around through here and round here to get to him. And by then he can run, like, once he gets here he can just blink or something over there, and he's got to go all the way over there as well. So it's actually really helpful for saving teammates. And if you have the major glyph which grabs you to them, if you're getting hit by someone, say I'm over here, and I'm getting hit by this geezer right here, I can just grab to my teammate who's here and just get behind this wall before the warrior can get to me, and it's going to take him ages to run around. So yeah, that's actually really helpful, and it's kind of underestimated by everyone. In terms of CC, we got 2 or 3 CC abilities, which is Silence, we got Fear, and we've got Psychic Horror. Now Psychic Horror you can use with if you can use that in your burst. I wouldn't really use it otherwise unless one of your teammates is taking a lot of damage and you need to kind of stop it. Psychic Scream, don't Psychic Scream the kill target, because obviously he's just going to get broken easily. And try and communicate when you're using Fear or Silence to on the healer to your team, so they can accordingly CC afterwards or beforehand, because you don't want to be stacking the CC, because that just wastes CC abilities, to be honest. Alright, so yeah, that's basically all the CC. We got the Silence, we got the Fear, and the Psychic Horror. So yeah, you could count in, where is it? Shackle Undead against Unholy Death Knight pets, but that's really rare if you're going to be able to do that. You can use Mind Seer at the start of arenas on someone that's to try to get people out stealth if you really want to, but it kind of leaves you open because you're not stealth. Although if you're not a shadow, if you're not a night elf, then that wouldn't be an option anyway. So mind searing someone that's running around trying to reveal their rogue or feral or something like that may be a good idea. So yeah, I'm going to go through the rotation now. If we just click on here. Now, say this is a DPS, this is a DPS, and this is a healer. We're focusing the middle guy, right? This is the DPS we're focusing. This guy is just the other DPS, and this is the healer. Now, what you're going to want to do is the healer, which you're going to try to be CCing, or you're going to be CCing this guy. You're never going to be CCing this guy. So this guy wants to have dots on him all the time, like so. There you go. He's got dots on him. This guy, you can dot, but say I dot like this, your person's going to CC, and it's going to be like, let me just cast this quickly. There you go. Look. Wait, what? Why is this not removing the dots? Could you not? There we go. Alright, so that's what's going to happen if someone polymorphs or CCs the target. The dots are just going to be removed and they're going to be useless. So that's wasted 2 global cooldowns and however long it takes you to cast Vampiric Touch with your haste rating. So that's kind of a waste. So this is the focus. This is the other DPS. You can always keep this guy dotted to get Mind Spike procs. And then when you're going to burst, you're going to want to get 5... Hang on, why is this not showing up? There we go. You're going to get 5 orbs. Let me just get my orbs up. There we go. Try to do it with your trinket up as well, that's really helpful. Alright, there we go. So, as we see here, wait for your Mind Blast to come back up and have 5 orbs. I'm going to do it slowly to start with. All you want to do is use Devouring Plague. Or, first off, you can use your... Have I got that trinket on? Yeah, I've got my PvE gear on for some reason, but whatever. Alright, so I'm going to use my trinket, if you have one. Then I'm going to use my Shadow Fiend. Then I'm going to use Devouring Plague, Mind Blast, Mind Flay. Wait for Devouring Plague to run out. Mind Blast, whatever procs you get from dotting this guy up over here. And that's basically what you're going to do. That's going to burst them probably to about 1/4 HP or maybe half. And your other DPS is going to be able to do that as well. Halfway through the burst, you might want to give this guy a silence, like this. Oh wait, no. What? No, my silence isn't bound. Alright, hang on. My silence has unbound itself. Whatever, you're going to want to silence this geezer over the healer. And then if you can, you're going to try stealth in while still trying to hit this guy. Fear this guy over here. He can't cast now. He's feared. He may trinket that one. And then your mage is going to be able to use polymorph. Your druid's going to be able to use cyclone, and he's just going to be CC'd to hell. Now there is another way to burst. Let me just get my oils back. There we go. So say this guy is a Windwalker and he can jump all over the place and line of sight you, because you've got, say you're doing Shatter Play and you've got a Holy Paladin, a Frost Mage and a Shadow Priest. Now this Windwalker's jumping all over the place, line of sight in your ass. So what you want to do is, instead of using Devouring Plague first, you want to use Psychic Horror so he can't move. Then you want to use Mind Blast, Devouring Plague, and then go along as normal. Now obviously because I don't have my PvP gear on, my orbs aren't coming back, but your orbs will come back and you'll be able to cast another Devouring Plague. And that will really, really help out because they're not going to be able to jump away and you'll be able to kill them a lot faster. Now you don't want to stack that fear with your other DPS's CC as well, so or your healer. So if the healer uses his 5-second stun, his hand on this guy, you don't want to use that at the same time because obviously it's just going to be stacked and it's going to be wasted. Remember this has a 45-second cooldown, so you're not going to have to do this every time. Although if you get the thing, you're going to be able to get 30-second cooldown, the magic glyph, and that works really well with Mind Blast because Mind Blast is a 5-second cooldown. You need to cast 5, which is 25 seconds to get your burst, and this is on a 30-second cooldown, so basically they stack up really nicely and you'll be able to use that basically every burst you can do. I think that's basically it. I think I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. If you found this useful or you want another kind of video, it would be really appreciated if you could like the video and comment on what you wanted to see next or how I could improve or something like that. Yeah, so thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.